Dear ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us today, also on behalf of the Renewable Carbon Initiative. My name is Svenja Dahl from Nova Institute, and today here with me, one of our members, IBB, Industrielle Biotechnologie Bayer-Netzwerke GmbH, in the long version. As representative here with me, Professor Dr. Zorbas Short-Akis. He is CEO of the company and professor in biochemistry. IBB Netzwerke is a networking and service company in the field of industrial biotechnology and sustainable economy. And its goal is the efficient and rapid translation of scientific findings into innovative processes and products. So, Akis, usually your activities mainly focus more on biotechnology, but do you have already companies in your network working on replacing fossil carbon?
Yes, first of all, Svenja, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to run this interview with you. A good day. I wish you a good day. And then let's try to answer your question. The question was if we have companies in our network working on replacing fossil carbon. Yes, sure. We have a lot of such companies, and I would like to mention some examples that come into my memory, in my mind. For example, a lot of companies use biomass, often residues from other applications, to manufacture chemicals, materials, and fuels. There is, first of all, Clariant, a leading company in our network, which uses straw to convert it biotechnologically to ethanol. A second big global operating company is UPM, which chemically converts crude tall oil to renewable diesel, called UPM Bioverno, and renewable naphtha. Global bioenergies may use forestry and agricultural residues as feed for their bacteria, genetically modified bacteria, to produce isobutane and derivatives. If you allow for a broader sense of the term biomass, this means glucose or protein-containing raw materials of both animal and vegetable origin. Then we could prolong this list with a lot of further companies, which at the moment I wouldn't like to mention because of shortage of time, but we can see all of them and study them, what they're doing on our websites. Then, of course, we have equally several companies which use CO2, again, for chemicals, materials, and fuels. First of all, Electrochaea. Electrochaea has been extremely successful with the production of methane by using carbon dioxide and hydrogen as the sole nutrition constituents for the methane production by the archaea. So far, no company or institution of our network members focuses on recycling, chemical or mechanical. But upcoming activities on that topic are planned by us. In any case, there is a large number of members of the IBB network which match RCI's targets. Consequently, we intend to be the voice of our members and partners within your initiative.
Okay, thanks for sharing this very broad overview of your activities and your partners. But you mentioned that recycling is not so much in your agenda at the moment. Can you tell us more about your visions stepping into this?
The question is why recycling is not included in our activities?
Yes, and what your visions are going more forward into this also, if so.
Okay, as you may know, we manage a lot of so-called sub-networks. These are gatherings of companies and academic institutions focusing on specific subjects, for example, bioplastics or waste to value, or digitization of biochemistry, or Internet of Things, of use CO2 and so on. And we intend to build, I think, a seventh. We created already 6, but we intend to build further sub-networks on different topics, for example, advanced biofuels, or chemical recycling already in this year, And by this, I think that we can include also the third pillar of the RCI in our activities. This is mainly chemical recycling, of course also mechanical. But since I have only 6 co-workers, I have to manage my time and my energy. So it's not something which is in principle not included in our thoughts, but due to the shortage of time and opportunities, we didn't build a sub-network on recycling yet, but it comes, it will come.
Okay, so you step into all these different feedstocks from renewable carbon. And this would bring me to my next question. You mentioned a lot of companies working on replacing fossil carbon, but can you mention some specific projects where these partners are working in and you are working in?
Oh, yeah, sure. As I just mentioned before, particularly Electro here runs several projects for the methane production out of carbon dioxide. For example, the project Microbial Electrolytic Cell, or in the project Kitty Cat, they dubbed it Kitty Cat, aiming at the construction and experimental operation of a research reactor on a small scale. Second example, Clariant, of course, deals with the conversion of biomass to ethanol in 2 big EU-funded projects called Sunliquid and Lignoflag. IBB is partner in both, not a subcontractor, but partner in both projects for specific tasks. Clariant is running already a demonstration plant in Straubing, Bavaria, and is building since 1 or 2 years a first of its kind production factory in Romania. Besides, as I said, IBB manages several sub-networks for which the RCI is most relevant.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. And another question, I'm really very curious about it, is the term renewable carbon. Is it already used by your members, by your partners, or in your network?
If you specify the term renewable carbon or carbon from renewable resources, this term is rather not used consciously by our network members yet, although they practice it, as just mentioned. However, I would like to clarify or point out the following. As you yourself brought up, we understand the mission or purpose of our company as the catalysis of or technology transfer within the scope of sustainable economy. For us, sustainable economy is a way of doing business such that existing resources on the earth are not irretrievably used up, which is to say a way of doing business which uses renewable and or recyclable resources. Then a way of doing business which is environmentally and climate friendly, as well as socially acceptable. And third and last, a way of doing business which, not in spite of these attitudes, but precisely because of these attitudes, is competitive towards the conventional, essentially petrochemical-based economy. According to this understanding, the sustainable economy includes and covers other fields and trends, such as bioeconomy, encompassing the use of renewable raw materials, hence renewable carbon, green economy, industrial biotechnology, circular economy or recycling, cradle-to-cradle approaches, zero waste movements, and etc. Our members are dedicated in one or another way to the realization and implementation of one or more of these aspects. Thus, our cluster members do not always or deliberately use the term renewable carbon in their speech, yet they frequently do use renewable carbon in their doings, what I consider even more important.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, renewable carbon is now on your list, and maybe this is a term which will establish more and more by time. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Many thanks for this answer. And I think you already mentioned it somewhere, but I would like to explicitly ask about it. What are IBB's goals within the Renewable Carbon Initiative, and what do you hope to achieve within the initiative?
I would say our goals are twofold, at least twofold. IBB, per se, is convinced of the need to abandon fossil residues for the production of chemicals, materials, and fuels, of course, because their use is neither sustainable nor environmentally friendly, nor suitable for protecting the climate. Using renewable carbon from the three sources identified by NOVA, I don't need to mention them here, for manufacturing chemicals and materials is not only a solution to these issues, but also provides the opportunity to conduct innovative research and development and to bring truly green products to market. However, there is a lot to be done. First, to persuade or win the industry, big industry, for the necessary replacement of fossil carbon. Without the big industry, no transition whatsoever towards a sustainable economy can be achieved, in my mind. Conceivably, commercial enterprises are, of course, scared of giving up the current competitive advantage. Hence, we should advocate a well-considered, gradual transition from the conventional to a sustainable, renewable carbon economy. Second step, and subsequently, and for the benefit of the now convinced industry, we have to advocate in front of the state or legislative authorities to provide the necessary political framework, since the said transition harbors large technical and financial risks. These risks need therefore to be mitigated by appropriate legal measures. Hence, RCI could, or rather should, develop a lobbying organization to promote and enforce this evolution. And therefore, IBB's first goal is to support the objectives of RCI and together with other RCI members to be among the pioneers on the path of a sustainable future economy. And the second goal, I would say, is more egoistic. As you know, IBB's special purpose is to support market participants in the rapid and effective implementation of promising scientific findings right from the start into innovative marketable products and processes, and thus into efficient value creation. To cover the entire value chain, we need as many pieces of expertise as possible. Hence, the second goal of IBB is, by making acquainted the achievements of its network, to attract additional companies and institutions to become network members in order to fuel further creative and productive cooperations.
Okay, thank you very much for this very informative interview and of sharing your goals and visions with us. And
thank you too.
Yeah. And of course, I would also like to thank our viewers out there for joining us today. And dear viewers, if you are now interested on IBB or one of our other members, the Renewable Carbon Initiative or our strategies and goals, please note the web address in the final credits of this video. And thanks again. And I'm very looking forward if you tune in next time. Bye-bye.